This is Hannibal from the HannibalTV.com. I just went for about an hour and a half to 2 hour run. Before I went for my run tonight, I read a piece of news about NXT UK, the controversies they've been having with the speaking out movement, with referees and wrestlers firing some, suspending others, having a big conference call today going over sexual harassment protocol according to reports. And I saw a picture earlier today of Triple H standing with the NXT roster. He's about my height, and he's like dwarfing just about the entire NXT UK roster. And it made me think, why has NXT UK not gone after the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith Jr., a.k.a. Harry Smith, a.k.a. D.H. Smith, who owns the trademark to the British Bulldog name, who is 6'5", 260, has trained with Billy Robinson, Josh Barnett, is the best technical wrestler in the world today and a legitimate wrestler, and his father was the most famous British wrestler that was known in the US and Canada, without question. At least in my time, in our time, I can't think of any British wrestler that came close to the popularity of Davey Boy Smith. Dynamite Kid never reached the height of the popularity that Davey Boy Smith did, and he was a main eventer in both WWE and WCW. Harry Smith is a pedigree kid, and he has all the tools to really be a big star in the UK. Yet it seems like they go after the strangest people when they're signing people to contracts. Like we heard before they dumped Carl Anderson, who was the little guy that was partners with Luke Gallows. He was making $750,000 a year. Yet you don't put Harry Smith under contract. Stu Hart's grandson, you don't put him under contract. It makes absolutely no sense to me. From what I understand, NXT UK hasn't run house shows for a long time. They haven't run TV taping since the lockdown. I don't know when their next plans are of doing another one, but my advice, my booking advice to Triple H, which I'm sure he won't take, is hire Davey Boy Smith Jr. to face Walter in NXT UK, who is the only star I know from that brand, but he has no opponents because everyone's there is like a mini wrestler or a nobody. It just doesn't make sense to me, the type of people that they go after. I think Harry Smith has maybe wrestled 3 times for MLW in 2020. He's not with New Japan anymore. He's literally in his peak shape. That is just my question. Maybe the other thing I'll mention before I stop this open question: when have you ever heard of Harry Smith sending naked pictures to underage girls or anyone? When have you heard of Harry Smith getting into any type of trouble? I have known Harry Smith since he was 14 years old, and he's always been a very gentleman-like individual. So that's just a question for me. I don't get it. Richard Mintz says, great question. His dad is wrestling royalty in the UK, and his dad was just put, they didn't have the formal ceremony yet, but his dad was just put in the WWE Hall of Fame. Harry was supposed to induct him. Matt Power says, agreed, I'm loving him in MLW, but how has none of the bigger companies offered Smith something? I don't know. I really don't know. Dirt Mark says, I can't believe you said AJ Styles tried to shoot on me. He did. I'm not saying he tried to shoot. He tried to shoot Take Me Down. I'm not saying that he didn't want to shoot and turn the match into a full shoot. But if you're asking me, Dirt Mac, about AJ Styles, I don't want to go off on another topic, but he did try and shoot double leg me in a match. 100%. He got mad at me several times during that match. AJ Styles and I are not friends. We are actually competitors. And yeah, I can definitely say we didn't really get along. But our match has well over 100,000 hits. But back to Harry Smith. Chris Lee says Harry Smith should be the face of NXT UK. Brandon Payne asked me what's AJ Styles like as a person. Arrogant, likes to get his way, likes to be treated like a star when I dealt with him. But does he put out a good effort? Yes. Does he care about his profession? To a certain extent, yes. But does he have a chip on his shoulder? Yes. Oh, Dirt Max says AJ would kick out of my finish. Well, actually, I pinned AJ twice that night that I wrestled him, and he was IWGP champion at that time. Mike S. says Harry Smith is a legit wrestler, not a superstar, not a storyteller, not an entertainer. And as I said in my earlier update, Stone Cold posted a retro podcast of him and Vince where he actually tried to have an argument with Vince that wrestlers are actually wrestlers and they still wrestle. And Vince is trying to say, no, they're storytellers, they're entertainers. But from what I understand, if NXT UK, they do more actual wrestling, from what I understand, but they need like star power. They need changes because there was rumors the brand was going to close. I don't know too many people that give a shit about NXT UK. And I am just wondering, it seems like a brainless thought of anybody would be get Davey Boy Smith Jr. on your roster if you want to make NXT UK work. So last thing I'll say from a fan, Max Power again, the Billingtons have started out in wrestling, so you can even team them up with Harry down the line in UK. Yes, I've seen the nephew or something of Dynamite Kid. He's started training too. So that's my open question. Maybe Triple H will see this. I know you like little guys like this Adam Page or Adam Cole. I honestly forget what his name is of the NXT main roster champion, but for the NXT UK, you should really take my advice on this, Triple H. Do whatever you can to bring Harry Smith in. It'll help. I guarantee you it would help greatly.